Hello, everybody. Captain Marty Brill here, and it is Monday, August the 26th, and we do have some stuff to share with you on the fishing front like we do all week long. So stay right there, and I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you who won the Virginia Beach Billfish Tournament in just a moment.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
Welding. It's ultimately the use of lightning to fuse metals and steel together. And at Wanchese Metalworks, that's what they do best. Specializing in marine fabrication and repair on sport and commercial fishing vessels, Wanchese Metalworks does fuel tank fabrication, rod racks, rocket launchers, T-tops, towers, struts, rudders, trim tabs, and green sticks, just to name a few. They also do interior and exterior handrails and stainless kitchen work too. Whether it's MIG and TIG or arc welding, Wanchese Metalworks does it all. They're the realest of the real when it comes to metal and steel. Wanchese Metalworks, 102 CB Daniels Road, Wanchese.
All right, so we'll start out with that. Virginia Beach Billfish Tournament operated out of Rudee Inlet. It's the tournament that's right after the Pirates Cove events. Kind of an interesting 1-2-3 finish up there. And I'll tell you the finish, then you tell me what's interesting about it. All right, so first place went to the Sea Toy with Captain Bull Tolson, who had 750 points. And then second place was the End Game with Captain Barry Daniels. He had 680 points. And third place was the Biopsy with Captain Jesse Granitzky, and he had 610 points. Now, have you figured out what's neat about that? Is all three of those boats are Oregon Inlet, meaning Pirates Cove, Oregon Inlet charter boats, fishing out of Oregon Inlet. So it goes to show you, Bull Tolson all his life has been one of the best fishermen I've ever met. He is on my list of the 5 most gifted fishermen I've ever met, and I've been in the business all my life. And Bull would be right there about number 2. Nothing surprising me there. And of course, he just got back from Bermuda. He did fish with us at Pirates Cove. Barry Daniels, his father and I fished as dock partners for years. So he's a great guy. And Jesse, of course, is a threat to win any tournament he gets in. And he's always at the top of the pack. So there are your 3 Manio guys, and they all did really well at the Virginia Beach Billfish Tournament. As far as the rest of our offshore report, pretty scrappy in Hatteras yesterday. Boats got out, but they caught a few wahoo. They worked really hard to catch a few blackfin tuna, and then some of them resorted to some other stuff. Other stuff being a little bottom fishing, a little Spanish mackerel fishing around the inlet on the way in. That tells me it must have been pretty darn slow. But that happens. This is August, and that's pretty much the slowest fishing time of the year for offshore fishing in some ways. So the Oregon Inlet fleet, they also had to work hard for what they came up with over the last few days. They also have had a scattered wahoo. There have been a few gaffer dolphin or mahi bigger. We just have not seen a lot of gaffers this year. And actually, I would say the mahi fishing has been slower than normal, and I'm wondering about all of that. But you had that all going on. A scattered blackfin tuna, a scattered yellowfin tuna, and a scattered billfish. Every once in a while, you'll see a boat come in with 2 or 3 flags, but the part that is really puzzling me is this should be the peak of the white marlin season, or at least the peak of the billfish season. From the middle of August to the middle of September is that's why we have all these tournaments in our area this time of year. But the white marlin, I believe, and from what I've been hearing, are way above us, and they're having a good white marlin bite. That is good to know that the white marlin are still around, that aliens haven't taken them or something like that to feed their alien babies. But there are white marlin north of us. A sailfish bite has been okay, but all of the tournaments have had less than spectacular bill fishing, and I'm being kind with those words. Inshore at Oregon Inlet, we had big bluefish, we had some ribbon fish. There's a few drum being caught in the inlet or around the inlet, but all in all, they probably had the better fishing really over the last few days. Surf fishing, Spanish mackerel, at the point I got that from Red Drum Tackle, one of my sponsors, and they have had a couple days worth of Spanish mackerel fishing. That's a fish you catch out of the surf on metal lures, gotcha plugs, sting silvers, things like that. There's been a few puppy drum and the usual denizens on the bottom bottom fishing, the pompano, sea mullets, croakers, spots, a bluefish if you're lucky. Still a few of those, not what I'd really call big bluefish, but 10-pounders. Really a great size, and that's one of the hardest fighting fish that you'll find. Same thing on the piers, with the exception of a few trophy fish. So there's been a couple big kings caught off the end of some of the piers. There's been a scattered cobia and a scattered big drum. So all is not gloom and doom on the pier and surf fishing. However, you better have really fresh. You got to really have your A game. So you want really fresh bait, which is why you shop at our local tackle shops. Let me tell you, this is true of any kind of fish in our area. If your bait is fresh, it will catch fish the best. If it's 1 day old, you can cut that by 50%. So day old bait, you're cutting your odds down 50%. 2 day old bait, probably not going to get a bite on it. So really seek out the fresh bait. These local tackle shops work hard at that. They have contracts and deals and handshake agreements with the local commercial fishermen. So to get a fresh mullet or a fatback or even shrimp, everything you use for bait should be eating quality for human beings. In fact, I know several of the tackle shops, they eat some of their bait, mainly the shrimp, but that's because they are eating quality. So that's what's going on in the surf and pier. We'll take a little break, and I'll be back to talk to you about the fishing in the backcountry.
Scrambling around to different stores, in and out of the car multiple times to make sure you have everything you need for the beach, that can be such a hassle. But not with the Breeze Through in Avon. Breeze Through is your one stop for gas, beer, drinks, ice, sandwiches, snacks, coffee, sunscreen, and the best part? You don't even have to get out of your vehicle. That's right, just sit tight. Breeze Through will bring everything you need right to your car. Looking for a keg for a special event or gathering? Breeze Through is the only store on Hatteras Island who sells them. Breeze Through Avon, Milepost 55, and online at breezethroughobx.com.
All right, so we're back. I had a great weekend. I'll share this with you. I had a couple apple trees out in my yard. I actually have quite a few, but 2 of them produced some apples that made it to maturity, and I made apple butter yesterday, and I'm going to make some apple sauce, and no telling what else I'll make. Man, did it ever come out good. You talk about your house smelling good and thinking about the fall. A little clove, a little cinnamon, some fresh apples, stewing on the stove, and then I canned it. If you've really been good this year, you might get a jar at Christmas. Might be a long shot, but you could get one, especially if you have hunting land. But anyway, the inshore backcountry fishing, the guys down to Hatteras caught some speckled trout, sheephead, and scattered bluefish. The Bonner Bridge crowd has been doing good. I tell you, this sounds like we talk about this a lot, and they probably would prefer I didn't, but the Bonner Bridge has done pretty good on the sheephead. But the tide is really important. The wind direction is really important. And if you don't have fiddler crabs, you're like I was telling you with the bait, you're going to be barking up of the wrong tree. So sheephead require live fiddler crabs or oyster crabs if you can get them, and structure, a barnacled up piling or a rock pile. All those things are really where you want to be. And so that's pretty much, we still have great speckled trout fishing and good drum fishing in all the size ranges, but we talk about it every single day. I think most people would agree it's been maybe one of the best drum summers we've had in the last 10 years. So that's what we have to do by that. Now, to keep in mind that next Saturday, August the 31st, is something I'm involved with and helping out a little bit, and that's the Englehard Volunteer Fire Department. And they're having on next Saturday the first annual Gibbs Shoal fishing tournament. Gibbs Shoal is a shoal outside of Englehard. The Englehard Volunteer Fire Department is an independent fire department, and they're going to try to do a tournament each year to help raise money. They do fish fries, they do cake sales and all those things. They're going to try to do that, and I've been coaching them a little bit with some of our tournament stuff from over on the beach. The 3 categories are drum, trout, and sheephead. I'm the weighmaster. We'll center this tournament from Madam Mesquite High School. There's going to be food up there, and come on out and say hello. It's a real casual thing for me compared to the Pirates Cove tournaments and the Hatteras tournaments, and it'll be fun. It costs $100 per person to enter, and that you might as well just think of as a donation to the fire department, and trust me, they can use it. Their funds are always lacking a little bit, and these young guys that are pretty much the up-and-coming force of the volunteer fire department are really trying hard on this tournament. So anything you can do would be helpful, and you can just Google Gibbs Shoal Fishing Tournament or Englehard Volunteer Fire Department, and you will find out all you need to know. So keep that in mind. Sorry about my phone ringing in the background. I didn't think it would do that. But anyway, keep all that in mind. Have a great day, and God bless.